Hello, all those of you out there in YouTube land. I hope you're having a good day. Um, but if you're not, I hope your day is getting better or will get better. Uh, my newest project I have endeavored to take, on top of the several other projects I'm working on, is a manifesto. And it's a manifesto to the Christian Church of America. And no, that's not the name of a denomination. I just mean all the body of the entire community of Christians in America, collectively known as the American Church. And I will read to you the prologue to give you an idea of what this entails. While there are many problems with the church throughout the world, that is, the community of followers of the Messiah Jesus Christ, there are problems in America that I feel personally connected to and feel the need to address. The fact that America has so many blessings, freedoms, and luxuries that are exploited on a daily basis while the gospel has become a chore is a travesty at best. I believe that the greatest sin the American church commits habitually is apathy. We have become numb to the suffering of others. Of course, we feel it when tragedies occur. The terrorist attacks of September 11th, London train bombings, Hurricane Katrina, 35W bridge collapse, and the earthquakes in Japan. When I talk about numbness to sin, I usually use it in context to those living in sin. Those of us who know the truth have discovered that sin is only pleasurable for a season, according to Hebrews 11:25. Never in my youth did I foresee that I would become so passionate about making the followers of Jesus in America start feeling again. Christ has been reduced to a feel-good drug that allows us to become content in our salvation. We're satisfied with the mediocrity of the church, and while we can say we feel, there's a lot more lip service than there is action. If we pass by the strangers on the street, and it doesn't hurt us inside that we don't know where their soul is going, then we're not feeling enough. What Christ felt to make sure that we could be saved is so much greater than any discomfort that we may feel, having to step outside our safe places to reach those who need Him. I must confess that there are a lot of times I don't feel like I should be the one to write this. I am not a perfect model of the Christ-like lifestyle, and I often make mistakes that sometimes I question whether God would forgive me of. As Paul said, I am the chief of sinners in 1 Timothy 1:15. However, God takes the worst of the worst and uses them for His purposes, which are far beyond our own. If that means I write a passionate letter of rebuke and a call to restoration, a death to the disease of apathy, then so be it, and may God be glorified all the while. What can we do to feel again? We need to work through our salvation with fear and trembling, as it says in Philippians 2:12. We must be fools for Christ, taking up our crosses daily to walk the unbeaten path and go where God calls us to go. It was for love that we were made, because of love that God struck down His own Son, and through love that we can bring a hope that can transform this world. It's time to stop seeing people with the eyes of our world: black, white, Latino, Asian, Republican, Democrat, rich, poor, male, female, queer, or straight. We all need Jesus, and apart from Him we can do nothing, as it says in John 15:5. As you work your way through this, it is my prayer and hope that for each chapter of my manifesto, that you would read and spend time reading one chapter from the New Testament and 1 hour in prayer. Obviously, you could just sit there and breeze through this, but you'll only be cheating yourself. Actually, You'll be cheating yourself and be condemning all those who God has called you to reach out to. I hate using fear tactics, but there is a cold reality that chances are if you're willing to skip the devotions portion of this journey to becoming a feeling follower of Jesus, then there are many more like you who are also willing to skip it. Remember, this is about becoming a feeling follower of Jesus. It may be painful at times, and it will inevitably require you to give up time you normally would spend doing something else. If it makes you feel better, I had to give my time up to write this and listen to God for direction on how best to say what needed to be said. Now, it's time to move past all conceived notions about Christianity. Forget Sunday school. Forget confirmation classes. Forget all you thought you knew about what it means to be a follower of Jesus. We will come back to it at a later time. But for the moment, I want you to pretend that you know nothing about the gospel. By the end of this, I hope the thought of sin makes you want to vomit. And the only comfort you can find from this awful sensation is to spread the love of our Savior, Jesus Christ, to the lost and hurting. So that's the prologue. I'm also probably going to throw in a disclaimer there for a lot of people who may not be used to my style of writing. I tend to be very forward. I tend to be very blunt and to the point. I don't like to beat around the bush in my writing. When I'm face to face with people, I tend to be a lot more sensitive, and it's very much easier for me to be sympathetic and understanding of what's going on in the situation at the time it's happening. But when I'm writing, I'm just looking at my computer screen. So that's that. That's the prologue. I hope to have the first chapter done by end of May, maybe mid-April. And that's just me trying to be somewhat realistic because I don't have a whole lot of time to write. I will post a video reading an excerpt from chapter 1 to give an idea of what my progress is like. But that's the plan. That's what my manifesto is about. If I had more time... Nice, my phone just went off. If I had more time, I would probably give you some philosophical thoughts on some of my class discussions I had today, but right now my brain is like exploding, and I still have to read selected readings from Jean-Jacques Rousseau and the second act of Waiting for Godot and St. Augustine's Confessions, Book 1. So, while I'm off to do that, I hope you have a great day. If it's not going so far, if it's not going good so far, I hope it gets better. As I said in the beginning of this video, be safe, and I will see you on the flip side.